You find yourselves in a dimly lit tavern, the air thick with the scent of ale and roasting meat. The wooden floor creaks beneath your feet, and the low hum of conversation fills the room. A fire crackles in the hearth, casting flickering shadows on the stone walls adorned with hunting trophies. As you each find a place to sit, a barmaid approaches and offers drinks. "Welcome, travellers, to the Silver Chalice. Please, introduce yourselves so we may know who embarks on this tale."
I stride confidently to the center of the tavern, my fiery red hair catching the light of the hearth. With a smirk, I spread my arms wide and declare, "I am Pyra, an Elf Fire Sorceress, and I'm here to lead us to glory and adventure."
Thoradin grumbles as he takes a seat near the hearth, his heavy armor clinking. His bushy beard almost touches the tankard he's ordered. With a scowl, he mutters, "Name's Thoradin, Dwarf Warrior, and I'll keep you from getting killed." He keeps a keen eye on the entrance, ready to spring into action if needed.
With a cheeky grin, I slide out of the shadows, my soft leather boots making barely a sound on the creaky floor. I hop onto a nearby stool and give a playful salute. "Name's Wisp, Halfling Rogue, here to make sure we get in and out of trouble without so much as a scratch." Then I scan the tavern for any valuable information or loose coin purses for future use.
With a gentle smile, I fold my hands in front of me and stand to address the group. My long flowing robes softly rustle with the movement. "Greetings, friends. I am Seraph, a human cleric. I am here to offer healing and guidance on our journey." I then take a seat beside Thoradin, quietly observing the room for anyone in need of aid or solace.
As you settle into your seats and the warmth of the tavern starts to seep into your bones, a hush falls over the room. The door creaks open, and an elderly man wrapped in a weathered cloak limps inside, drawing curious glances from the patrons. His eyes sweep the room, finally landing on your table. He approaches slowly and with an air of urgency, his voice barely more than a whisper. "Adventurers, I seek your help. Dark times have befallen our village. We are plagued by a curse, and none have been able to lift it. Please, will you aid us?" The tavern grows silent, awaiting your response.
I stand up with a determined look in my eyes, turning to face the elderly man. "We will help you," I declare confidently, glancing at my companions to ensure they are ready for the mission ahead.
Thoradin grumbles as he stands, the heavy clinking of his armor echoing in the now silent tavern. With a cautious glance around the room, he steps closer to the elderly man, his voice a low, gravelly rumble. "Aye, we're in, but tell us more about this curse first." He keeps one hand on the hilt of his axe, ready for any sudden trouble.
I give a cheeky grin and hop off my stool, slipping into the crowd to gather more information discreetly while the others talk to the old man. "I'll see what I can find out around here," I whisper to my companions before vanishing into the tavern shadows.
I stand and gently place a hand on the elderly man's shoulder, offering him a comforting smile. "Fear not, for we shall bring light to your darkness," I say, my voice soft yet resolute. Then, turning to Thoradin and Pyra, I quietly add, "Let us listen to his story in full so we may better understand the challenge we face."
The elderly man looks relieved, his shoulders slumping as if a great weight has been lifted. He takes a deep breath and begins to speak, his voice trembling with urgency. "We are from the village of Blackwood, nestled deep within the whispering forest. About a month ago, a dark shadow fell upon our homes. Crops have withered, livestock has perished, and the villagers fall ill with no clear cause. A malevolent presence can be felt in the air, and strange creatures have been seen lurking at the forest's edge. We suspect an old cursed crypt in the heart of the forest may be the source. None who enter have returned." He pauses, looking at each of you in turn, his eyes pleading. "You are our last hope." As he finishes, the room remains silent, and you can feel the weight of his words settling over you. The flickering fire casts long shadows, as if echoing the eerie tale. What will you do?
I nod resolutely, turning to meet the eyes of my companions. With a confident smile, I declare, "To Blackwood, then. We'll uncover the source of this curse and put an end to it." I then start heading towards the tavern door, my fiery determination lighting the path ahead.
Thoradin tightens the straps on his armor, giving a firm nod to Pyra. "Aye, to Blackwood then, but stay cautious. Something doesn't sit right with me about this." He moves to the front, ready to lead the way and keep an eye out for any immediate threats.
I slip out of the tavern quietly, catching up to Pyra and Thoradin. As I move ahead of the group, I whisper, "I'll scout the path to Blackwood. Let's avoid any unnecessary surprises." Then I blend into the shadows, using my rogue skills to navigate and ensure the way is clear of threats.
I step forward, placing a gentle hand on the elderly man's shoulder for one last moment, and say softly, "Hope is the beacon that will guide us through this darkness." With a serene smile, I follow my companions out of the tavern, ready to face the unknown challenges of Blackwood.
As you each step out of the Silver Chalice, the cool night air greets you, bringing with it the distant rustle of leaves from the whispering forest. The cobblestone streets of the village are bathed in the pale light of a crescent moon, and the village seems eerily quiet, as if holding its breath. The elderly man who has followed you outside points a trembling hand towards the edge of the village, where a narrow path disappears into the dense, shadowy forest. "Follow that path," he says, his voice barely a whisper. "It will lead you to Blackwood. Beware the creatures that lurk within. May the gods watch over you." With his words lingering in the air, you set off, your footsteps echoing softly in the still night. The path ahead is dark and foreboding, with the dense foliage of the whispering forest closing in around you as you leave the safety of the village behind. As the forest swallows you, the sounds of nocturnal creatures begin to fill the air, heightening your senses and stirring a sense of unease. You press onward, each of you alert and ready for what lies ahead. Would anyone like to take any specific actions as you journey deeper into the forest?
I walk at the front, leading the group with a ball of flame glowing softly in my palm to light our path, saying firmly, "Stay close and watch for any signs of danger."
Thoradin steps slightly ahead of Pyra, adjusting his shield and keeping his axe at the ready. "I'll take point, Pyra. Those creatures ain't gonna catch us off guard." He scans the dark tree line for any signs of movement, listening intently for any unusual sounds.
Slipping into the shadows at the edge of the path, I move silently ahead of the group, using my keen eyes to scout for any traps or hidden creatures that might lie in wait. "I'll make sure the way is clear for us," I whisper back to my companions.
With my staff in hand, I softly chant a few sacred words, casting light on the tip to brighten our way. Let this light guide us through the shadows, I murmur, walking close to Thoradin and Pyra, ready to offer my aid.
As Wisp fades into the shadows ahead, the rest of you follow the narrow, winding path deeper into the forest. The trees around you grow denser, their twisted branches casting eerie shadows that dance in the flickering light of Pyra's flame and Seraph's enchanted staff. Suddenly, a rustling sound emerges from the underbrush to your left. The foliage parts, and a pair of glowing eyes peer at you from the darkness. Then, with a low growl, a wolf-like creature with black matted fur and unnaturally long fangs emerges, accompanied by two smaller, equally menacing beasts. The air thickens with tension as the creatures circle your party, their growls growing louder and more threatening. Roll for initiative.
With a determined gleam in my eyes, I step forward and raise my hands, chanting arcane words as a ring of fire erupts around the wolf-like creatures. Feel the heat of my flames, beasts.
I tighten my grip on my axe and step forward to place myself between the creatures and my companions, raising my shield to protect against their attacks. With a fierce battle cry, I swing my axe at the leading wolf-like beast, aiming to stun it. You'll have to get through me first.
Slipping through the shadows, I silently position myself behind the largest wolf-like creature, aiming a precise strike with my dagger at its exposed flank. Let's see how you like a surprise, I whisper under my breath.
As the fierce battle ignites around us, I maintain my composure, raising my staff high. Observing that no one in our party is seriously wounded yet, I close my eyes and begin to chant a prayer. Silvery light swirls around my companions, imbuing them with divine strength. I call upon the grace of the heavens. Bless us with accuracy and might, I murmur, the sacred light enhancing their attacks.
The wolf-like creatures circle tighter, growling fiercely as they prepare to attack. The largest of the beasts, its eyes glowing with an eerie red light, lunges towards Thoradin with fangs bared, aiming to break through his stalwart defense. The smaller beasts follow suit, one snapping at Wisp's shadowy form, while the other charges towards Pyra's flaming hand. The night grows colder, the tension thick and palpable as the battle ignites. As the beasts attack, the forest seems to hold its breath, the rustling of leaves and distant cries of nocturnal animals echoing around you.
With a determined glare, I point my finger at the ground beneath the wolf-like creatures and unleash a flaming sphere, the rolling ball of fire illuminating the dark forest as it sears the beasts. Burn in the inferno of my wrath!
Thoradin throws himself in front of the largest wolf-like creature, bracing his shield and swinging his axe to meet its charge head-on. "Come at me, you mangy mutt!"
With a sly smile, I dart to the side, narrowly avoiding the snapping jaws of the smaller beast. Using my agility, I leap onto a low-hanging branch above the fray, throwing a dagger with expert precision at the creature attacking Pyra. "Time to even the odds," I whisper.
Amidst the chaos of the battle, I remain calm and raise my staff high, murmuring a soft prayer to protect my companions. Shield of Faith, envelop Thoradin in divine light and fortify his defenses, I declare, a shimmering barrier appearing around him to ward off the creature's attack.
The air grows tense as Thoradin meets the charge of the largest wolf-like creature head-on, and Pyra's flaming sphere crackles menacingly, casting flickering shadows among the trees. The smaller beasts snarl, momentarily recoiling from the intense heat. As Wisp's dagger slices through the air, it finds its mark on the beast charging Pyra, causing it to yelp and stagger back. Seraph's divine light infuses Thoradin, his defenses shimmering with ethereal strength. The largest beast, now enraged and wounded, regroups with its pack, issuing a guttural howl that reverberates through the forest. From the deeper woods, you hear responding howls. More creatures are on their way. The shadowy forest around you seems to close in tighter, the oppressive darkness growing thicker. You realize that time is of the essence. "Press forward, heroes, before we're overrun by the night," I warn, the urgency clear in my voice.
I grit my teeth, focusing my fiery energy into my hands, and cast burning hands in a wide arc towards the group of wolf-like creatures. Feel the fury of the flames, beasts!
Thoradin firmly plants his feet, raising his shield to cover himself and his companions, while swinging his axe in a powerful arc towards the largest wolf-like creature, aiming to take it down before reinforcements arrive. Fall back, beasts, or face my wrath!
As tension thickens, I decide to create a diversion to gain advantage. I take out a small bag of caltrops from my pouch and scatter them behind the wolves, aiming to slow any incoming reinforcements. "Let's make it tricky for their friends to join the party," I whisper with a mischievous grin, then quickly blend back into the shadows.
I grip my staff tightly, sensing the urgency in the air. Raising it high, I chant a prayer of divine protection, casting sanctuary on Pyra to shield her from harm. "May the light safeguard you from these wicked beasts," I intone softly, a protective aura enveloping her.
The cacophony of battle rages on as the wolf-like creatures snarl and snap, their red eyes glowing with unholy malevolence. Suddenly, a spine-chilling howl pierces the night air, louder and more menacing than before. From the shadows of the forest, a colossal figure emerges, an alpha dire wolf, its fur bristling and eyes like burning coals. The alpha dire wolf steps forward, its growls reverberating through the forest. With a commanding snarl, it orders the remaining wolf-like creatures to attack with renewed ferocity. The tension escalates as it fixates its gaze on your party, sensing a formidable challenge. "What heroic valor you show," the Alpha seems to convey through its oppressive presence. "But now, face your doom." As the Alpha dire wolf advances, the night seems to grow even darker, and the forest's rustling quiets as if in anticipation of the impending struggle.
With flames dancing in my eyes, I summon a burst of crackling energy and cast Fireball at the feet of the Alpha dire wolf, aiming to engulf it and the surrounding wolf-like creatures in a searing inferno. Feel the wrath of the flames.
Thoradin grits his teeth, stepping firmly in front of his party as he readies his shield and raises his axe. With a booming voice, he yells, "Over my dead body, beast!" He then charges forward, aiming a powerful strike directly at the Alpha dire wolf's flank, intending to draw its attention and protect his comrades.
Slipping silently through the shadows, I position myself behind the Alpha dire wolf. With a quick flicker of movement, I thrust my dagger towards a vulnerable spot in its hind leg, aiming to cripple its movements. "Let's see how you handle this, big guy," I whisper.
With a serene expression, I raise my staff once more and call upon divine protection, chanting a prayer softly. I summon the guardians of light. Protect us from this wicked beast, I declare, casting Shield of Faith on Thoradin, fortifying his defences for the battle ahead.
The alpha direwolf snarls as it narrows its glowing, malevolent eyes. It lowers its head and charges at Thoradin with blinding speed, jaws wide open to deliver a devastating bite. The surrounding wolf-like creatures, emboldened by their leader's presence, dart in with renewed frenzy, attempting to flank the group and disrupt their formation. The forest itself seems to whisper dark omens, the trees rustling ominously as shadows dance and weave among the trunks. The oppressive darkness presses closer, heightening the tension as the battle reaches its climax.
I narrow my eyes, focusing on the alpha direwolf as it charges Thoradin. Summoning my inner fire, I raise both hands and cast Wall of Fire in a protective arc around my companions, aiming to scorch any creature that dares to cross its blazing barrier. Face the inferno, foul beast!
Thoradin plants his feet firmly and raises his shield, drawing the alpha direwolf's attention. He swings his axe in a wide arc, aiming to cleave through the beast's leg while shouting, "Come at me, you overgrown mutt!"
Slipping through the shadows cast by Pyra's wall of fire, I aim to strike at the alpha direwolf from behind, positioning myself to deliver a precise slice with my dagger to its vulnerable neck. "Let's end this quietly," I whisper under my breath as I plunge the blade forward.
Raising my staff high, I chant a soft, melodic prayer. "Guiding bolt, illuminate our path to victory," I intone, aiming a radiant beam of divine energy at the alpha direwolf, hoping to weaken it and enhance my companions' attacks.
The alpha direwolf charges at Thoradin, its jaws snapping ferociously. The alpha's powerful legs propel it forward, aiming to break through Thoradin's defenses. Meanwhile, the surrounding wolf-like creatures, emboldened by their leader's presence and incensed by the licking flames, dart in with a coordinated attack, seeking to disrupt the party's formation and strike from the flanks. The forest continues to whisper dark omens, the trees rustling as if alive, amplifying the urgent tension in the battle. What are your actions?
With the fierce determination glowing in my eyes, I summon the burning energy within me and cast Scorching Ray, aiming 3 fiery beams directly at the alpha direwolf. Feel the unrelenting fury of the flames.
With a fierce roar, I raise my shield and charge directly at the alpha direwolf, aiming a crushing blow with my axe at its legs to bring it down. "You'll not harm my friends!"
Slipping through the shadows, I dart behind the alpha direwolf, and with a swift, precise motion, I aim my dagger at the back of its knee to cripple its movement. Might as well go for the legs, save everyone some trouble.
Raising my staff high, I channel divine energy and chant softly. "By the light of the heavens, guiding bolt, illuminate our path to victory." A radiant bolt of light shoots from my staff, aiming at the alpha direwolf to weaken its defenses.